This is Qtv News and I am Jenna Basonko. Thank you for joining us. First, the main local and international news headlines. NAWEC's acting MD makes some startling revelations about the national utility company's persistent problems. 3 anonymous witnesses reveal their ordeal of going through ex-President Jammeh's bogus HIV cure. The Gambia Tourism Board and the Gambia Tourism and Hospitality Institute have today unveiled their new boards of directors. And at the end of the news, there will be a public service announcement about planned disruption to the ferry services on the Banjul and Brara crossing. In international news, is virtual tourism the answer to the global pandemic? We find out. Those were the main headlines, and now the news in detail. Do stay with us. Thank you for joining us in local news. The National Water and Electricity Company on Monday updated the media on the numerous challenges the company is facing in supplying water and electricity to residents in the Greater Banjul area. Lolly M. Kamara has the rest of that.
NAWEC, the country's main utility supplier, is faced with challenges resulting in the constant power and water shortage across the country, drawing complaints from residents and businesses across the nation. Speaking to reporters at his office, the acting managing director, Nani Juara, admitted that NAWEC is in a bad situation. Despite this, he added that there are short, medium and long-term plans to fix the problem. Mr. Juara made the further startling admission that most of these generators operating across the country are either due or overdue for maintenance, and the spare parts are not available in the country and have not been ordered yet.
We are going to make it as an emergency to make sure we get the necessary spare parts in country to maintain these generators that have already been shut down, and those that are even currently running, they have reached their recommended running hours for maintenance. I can say over 90% of the generators that are currently available for NAWEC are overdue for maintenance, and there are no spare parts. The culture of maintenance for the past 1 year has not been there. Our engineers have been overworked. I really sympathize with them sometimes when I go to the power stations. You cannot run a power utility without maintaining your generators.
Despite this desperate situation, the acting MD was at pains to assure the public that they will do everything possible in the short term to try to bring normalcy to the electricity and water supplies.
The spare parts that we would need to be imported. They are not available locally. These are heavy equipments. Some you can transport by air, others you cannot. It has to be sea freight. And that would mean we will require some time. Unfortunately, up to last week, some of the orders for the spare parts have not even been placed with the suppliers. Much more to talk about the payments. So we are just banking on the goodwill of our suppliers to have a common understanding, knowing that we have a very precarious situation, and we will bank on their understanding to speed up the processing of our orders to get these spare parts in country as soon as possible.
Mr. Juara also said certain areas have gone without adequate water supply for many days, and that this is unacceptable. He gave the reason for this being that over the years, their production capacity has not been good enough. He outlined ongoing projects, which he said will soon be ready for production. The lack of electricity and water supply is on the increase and has caused a lot of negative impact on businesses and people's lives, and the public awaits deeds, not words. Lolly M. Kamara for Qtv News.
3 anonymous witnesses on Monday told the TRRC that their health conditions worsened after enrollment and taking ex-President Yahya Jammeh's so-called HIV treatment medicine. Babakar C. has more.
The day's first anonymous witness told the commission that he was diagnosed with HIV at the Fajikunda hospital and later proceeded to MRC, where his positive status was confirmed. The witness said he joined the treatment program after hearing convincing testimonies from other patients.
So danga gis ne ñeenti bàyyi romb yëpp ñëpp doole doon faju dañ lay wax ne wér nañ yaakaar boobu nag moo ñu ci dugal waaye buñ leeroon na li ñuy wax na amut kenn du fa dem.
Well, I was among the 5th batch, but all the previous batches, which were 4, all of them spoke over the TV saying that they were cured. But had I known that it was the opposite, as it turned out to be, I wouldn't have gone. But when they spoke and said that they were cured, we also believed in it and decided to go.
The witness, like others who testified, went through the same process from being taken to Serekunda Hospital to the State House and to Kanilai, where he was made to drink local concoction for a period of 6 months. He said the medicines made his health condition worse. He told the commission that a lot of people who claimed on TV that they were cured were given false testimonials. He added that other African nationals from Malawi, Senegal and Guinea also came to join the treatment program. The second anonymous witness said her husband was first diagnosed with the virus before she was also tested and confirmed positive. She explained how she and her husband enrolled into the treatment program where they spent 3 months under harsh conditions, drinking concoction that caused them to vomit.
Massage komika fure kunyami inyada wo buka fenge telebe lori inyada
Well, there is a television in front of you. I think she means a camera. When they are massaging your body, this is what they point on your face when they are massaging your body in front of those who are taking care of your body.
The witness said they were also taken to Kanilai to pick cashew nuts at Jame's farm. She said sometimes they were awakened at 2 a.m. and forced to dance. The witness said it took 3 months before Dr. Mbo informed her that it was okay to go home as the virus was supposedly undetectable in her system. She said she had to go back to hospital and continued her HIV treatment. She confessed that patients died during and after the treatment with former President Jammeh. She concluded by telling the commission that her husband is now dead and that she is alone with the kids and without any support. The final anonymous witness told the TRRC that he knew his status in 2008 after getting treatment from hospital, thinking that the president could cure AIDS as he claimed. Unlike other patients who were kept in one place for months, the witness said his treatment program was made simple as he would normally come and drink the medicine and go home. After 3 months, he said he realized that he developed ulcer and anemia. He said the medicines he was taking from Jammeh was the cause of those sicknesses. He had to go back to the hospital and continued his normal treatment with the doctors after realizing that Jammeh's treatment was fake. Babukar Si, Qtv News.
The new board of directors of the Gambia Tourism Board and the Gambia Tourism and Hospitality Institute held a joint maiden meeting to welcome in the new board of directors. Bintu Koka has the rest of that.
The new board of directors were welcomed by Tourism and Culture Minister Hamad Ba, while the outgoing ones were applauded for the job they had done to improve both the tourism sector and the Gambia Tourism and Hospitality Institute GTHI. Minister Ba says his ministry is among those that have achieved their target since 2017 to the present. He added that the people brought into these positions should be prepared to work and know the job thoroughly. Minister Ba advised the new board that the protection of workers employed by foreign ships and investors in the tourism is key. But Samba Fai, chairman of the Tourism Board, calls for collaborative work to deliver on the new task facing them all. The tourism sector accounts for approximately 20% of the Gambia's GDP. The minister also reveals that the government is ready to invest in rural tourism as part of government's national development plan for expanding tourism to rural areas of the country. Bintu Koka, QTV News.
We will go for a short commercial break. The news continues when we return. To stay tuned. Welcome back from that short commercial break. If you're just tuning in, this is QTV News. Now, the Energy Minister Fafa Sanyang last Friday moved a motion for the second reading of the Petroleum Commission Bill 2020, which will give the Commission the mandate to regulate petroleum activities in the country. Aliu Sise has the rest of that.
In 2019, Cabinet gave approval for the Minister of Petroleum to undertake reforms needed to develop the petroleum sector, including establishing an autonomous petroleum commission. The Minister for Energy and Petroleum, Fafa Sanyang, told the Parliament that his ministry initiated the process by undertaking stakeholder consultation, culminating in the drafting of the Petroleum Commission Bill. The Commission's key mandate is to regulate upstream and midstream petroleum activities in the Gambia. Minister Sanyang also envisages it will enhance good governance, transparency and efficiency in the sector.
Currently, the Minister of Petroleum and Energy provides policy direction as its core mandate, facilitates licensing as well as the regulation of the upstream activities through the Petroleum Commission as a unit within the ministry. This is not in line with best practices. It is therefore prudent to separate policy, regulation and operation, which is good resource governance practice and in line with the ECOWAS hydrocarbon development policy. Since a dedicated Ministry of Petroleum as a policy-making body is established, together with the Gambian National Petroleum Corporation, GNPC, as the business arm of government in the petroleum sector, there is a need to establish an autonomous body to regulate upstream and midstream petroleum activities. An independent and competent commission will not only facilitate the attainment of the broad national, fiscal, operational, and local content objectives, but also the management of the social and environmental practices related to the oil and gas development.
Al-Haji Mbow, the member for Upper Salom, and Halifa Salah, the member for Serekunda, says such a commission is needed to ensure natural resources are well managed.
Honorable Speaker, it's very clear. Over the years and for several years since Africa was independent, the way our natural resources were managed, again, for the most part, has not been done in the interest of the nations. And I think for the minister coming up with such a commission to really take a look at or to facilitate the national, fiscal, operational, and local content objectives, and also to manage and coordinate desirable for a high-stake industry, I think this is something very welcome, and I think it's about time we take charge of our natural resources.
Our problem has been precisely lack of strategic planning. The object of law is to serve as an architectural sketch on which you build the foundations of institutions. So you must have appropriate laws in order to be able to have strategic planning in terms of policy. And then the institutions would be able to function.
The bill was referred to relevant parliamentary committee for further scrutiny. Reporting for QTV News, I am Aliu Sise.
Members of the Eco-Gambia Foundation and partners on Saturday conducted a general cleansing exercise from Senegambia area to Brusubi Turntable. Omar P. Jallo was there and he fastened this report.
Members of EcoBank Foundation were joined by volunteers from the Gambia Armed Forces and Brikama Area Council to clean this strategic area, especially as the rainy season is just starting. Ndumbe Seka Nyang, the chairperson of the foundation, said there is no doubt that environmental sanitation is good for everyone's health, adding that cleaning the environment should be a regular activity.
This is membership free, and really it's high time for us to keep the country clean, because like driving towards some Senegambia highway towards some airport, I think is the worst area in the Gambia. And then this is the image of the Gambia. We really need to keep it very, 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 very clean.
The CEO of Brikama Area Council, Modu Jonga, commended Eco-Gambia for the initiative and assured the council unflinching support and partnership with any organization in ensuring a clean and healthy environment.
We are delighted by the fact that Eco-Gambia have engaged the council to collaborate with us in this exercise because we know the theme of this exercise is preventing pollution, and therefore core part of our strategic priority is to ensure clean environment. So therefore today's exercise is a step in the right direction, and this is what motivated us to come out with both human resources and commit other resources to ensure that this exercise becomes a success.
Senabuba Fall, the Secretary General of the foundation, called on everyone to promote cleanliness and avoid indiscriminate dumping of litters or rubbish.
My main purpose for to the public will be to come out, clean your areas, put them in garbages. If you don't have any garbage company to pick up your trash or your garbages, call us, and we'll be able to arrange something with the councils, either Brikama Area Council or KMC, for them to help them pick them up for free.
Keeping our environment clean and healthy requires concerted efforts, and the initiative by Eco-Gambia Foundation was welcomed by residents and businesses in the area. The public should avoid the indiscriminate dumping of rubbish along our roads, especially now that dustbins has been mounted in different areas along the roads. There is a need for more sensitization for attitudinal change towards the environment and reinstatement of the monthly cleansing exercise known as Set Settle for the good health of everyone, and as well to keep the country clean and healthy. This initiative is but one of many needed to not only improve the appearance of our environment, but also to make it healthier for all of us. Reporting for QTV News, I am Omar P. Jallo.
The National Assembly of the Gambia on Monday considered and ratified 2 cooperation agreements between the Gambia and Turkey. The latest agreements include the protocol on exchange of learned plots for diplomatic missions. Aliou Cisse has the rest of that.
Turkey has and continues to be a key development ally to the Gambia. The two countries have in the past signed memorandum of understanding in the fields of tourism, military cooperation, and mutual abolition of visas for diplomatic passport holders, amongst others. The ratification of these latest agreements, the Agreement on Development Cooperation and Protocol on Exchange of Land Plots for Diplomatic Mission, is another manifestation of the strong bilateral ties between the two countries. Mamadou Tangara, the Foreign Affairs Minister, told lawmakers that the Agreement on Development Cooperation intends, among others, to enable cooperation in the implementation of projects and programs in the fields of technical and financial cooperation in order to support sustainable development. In a similar but different matter, the National Assembly also ratifies the Protocol on Exchange of Land Plots for Diplomatic Missions between the Gambia and Turkey. It seeks to further develop the friendly relations between Banjul and Ankara with the purpose of improving working conditions and cut expenditure on diplomatic missions in Banjul and Ankara. In ratifying the two agreements, lawmakers hope it will be mutually beneficial. Reporting for QTV News, I am Aliou Cisse.
And now to international news. As the global pandemic is nowhere near over, some African countries are offering tourists the chance to travel the continent and even go on expedition by virtual means amid the COVID-19 pandemic. Omar P. Jallo has the rest of that.
Following the outbreak of the coronavirus, the tourism industry across Africa, including the Gambia, has been adversely affected. National parks, hotels and almost all tourist attraction sites are closed. However, several African countries, including Kenya, Namibia and South Africa, have come up with the idea of providing devoted holidaymakers with digital impression of their countries during the pandemic, aimed at attracting more tourists after the pandemic. If Gambia joins the list of countries offering virtual tourism, Tourists could enjoy a canoe trip to the Kunta Kinte Island, stroll through the Abuko Nature Reserve, Stone Circle at Wasu, Slave House in Janjambure, crocodile pools in Bakau, or even watching birds while standing on the wooden bridge of the Tendaba camp, as all these experiences could be enjoyed at home by virtual tourists using the required technology. Gambia has already lost millions of dollars in revenue from tourism since the first case was discovered in the country in March this year. Virtual tourism could give the world a taste of what awaits them in the Gambia when the country is open to visitors once more after the pandemic. Gambia's near neighbor, Cape Verde, had 819,308 in 2019 and estimates the pandemic will lose them 500,000 visitors in 2020. The tourism ministry there has already started using local artists to promote the beauty of their country, including its historical sites via their music videos. With a simple live streaming of Gambia's historical places and tourist attraction centers on social media, people could be online and look for places they could travel to in the Gambia. Such an initiative could be a great opportunity for the country's tourism sector to present our country as a destination worthy of visiting. Technology has once again proven to be more of an enabler, allowing us to transit in space and time. This is evident as some countries have started using technology during the COVID-19, including the use of social media and online campaigns to attract more tourists. However, many are worried that the virtual tourism could even cause long-term damage to the tourism industry, with potential travelers staying away, content with visiting Africa virtually. However, others are of the opinion that virtual experiences do not allow you to touch, taste and smell. It only allows you to see. Therefore, most tourists will want to touch, taste, smell, hug or even take pictures near what they have seen online, as it is natural for human beings to be curious. Before the pandemic, Africa was the fastest growing tourism region in the world. In 2018, some 67 million tourists visited the continent, bringing $38 billion in revenue. However, with the outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic, the World Travel and Tourism Council puts the number of jobs lost in Africa's tourism sector alone at almost 8 million. This has made seeking alternatives imperative. A combination of virtual and real tourism may be the answer to tempting people back. Reporting for Qtv News, I am Omar P. Jallo.
The National Institute of Pharmaceutical Research and Development in Nigeria says its findings show that COVID-19 organics, the herb produced by Madagascar to combat COVID-19, cannot effectively cure coronavirus. Marie-Louise and Sanyang reports.
The branded herbal drink, which was launched on April 20th, with its main ingredients being sweet wormwood, Artemisia annua, a plant of Asian origin, was promoted by Madagascar's president as a cure for COVID-19. The bottled drink was sent to many African countries, including the Gambia and Nigeria, as a gift from the government of Madagascar. The Nigerian authorities had said from the start that they would not administer it without it first undergoing the same rigorous tests they would apply to any new medication. At the time of receiving the donated consignment, Nigeria's President Muhammadu Buhari had said, "We have our institutions, systems and processes in the country. Any such formulation should be sent to them for verification. I will not put it to use without the endorsement of our institutions." On Sunday, 19 July, Nigeria's main government lab, the National Institute of Pharmaceutical Research and Development, NIPRD, reported that it has been tested but had not found it to be effective for the cure of COVID-19. The scientific analysis discovered that the herb is not as potent as claimed, and that safety studies shows that the COVID organics, CVO, products do not alter the normal physiology of the animals. However, it did discover that CVO reduced cough frequency with the maximum dose tested producing an effect equivalent to that produced by central acting cough medicine. It also reduces general fevers. The World Health Organization, WHO, had initially warned countries against adopting products because it has not been taken through tests to see its efficacy. With WHO's head in Africa, Matsidiso Moit questioning, we are concerned that ADAP sell this product as preventive measures might then make people feel safe. Neither the WHO nor the Gambian health authorities have reported on the test of COVID organics. Nevertheless, the results from such a respected lab in Nigeria. It caused for disappointment as the whole of Africa was rooting for the Madagascar cure to be effective. Marie-Louise Nsanyang for Qtv News.
Before we end this news bulletin, let's take a quick look at our main stories. Now, ex-acting MD made some startling revelations about the national utility company's persistent problems. 3 anonymous witnesses revealed their ordeals of going through ex-President Jammeh's bogus HIV care. The Gambia Tourism Board and the Gambia Tourism and Hospitality Institute today unveiled their new boards of directors. In international news, is virtual tourism the answer to the global pandemic, we found out. And to end tonight's bulletin, here is a public service announcement from the Gambia Ports Authority about the Gambia ferry services. The Gambia Ports Authority wishes to inform the public that with effect from 10th August 2020, there will be no ferry service along the Barra and Banjul crossing points until at least 10 September 2020. The disruption to service is to enable the planned installation of a new landing bridge. Once again, the expected closure dates are 10th August to 10th September. Well, that is all we have for you in this edition of QTV News. Join us at 10 for another bulletin. Thanks for watching.